Hey everybody, it is Facebook Live with Les. This is going to be the recording studio edition, although we're in my office. However, you can you see this? Yeah, right there? I do my radio shows from back here. There's one of the microphones. But this is Facebook Live with Les, Southern Gospel Music, Memorabilia, Memories and Ministry. And we don't have any of the music here because we're just sitting in my office. And we don't have any. We're going to share a recent memory of something that just happened here in the studio, and it has nothing to do. We've been working today on my new album, on the Marksman's new record, but what we're going to share with you today has nothing to do with either of those records. But I'm here with my old buddy Mark Wheeler of the Marksman, and we had. Let's see, we had Tim Rabin in to sing some tenor with us today. Did a great job.
Great singer.
Mark nice singing some harmony to me. And then, as I promised, we had a song that I recorded that's a Ronny Hinson lyric, and Ronny came in to sing bass, and he did. He just absolutely slayed it.
He nailed it.
Did the man sing?
He done some singing.
And then he sang the second verse.
Oh, yeah.
On top of singing bass, and it's just absolutely... I'm so excited.
Yeah.
But then after all of that was said and done, we all just sat in the studio, and Ronny started talking, giving stories, and he started pulling up lyrics on his phone that he had recently written.
Woo!
And I tell you, I'm going to stop talking now. Mark, what just happened in that place?
Man, it was, we had church for a while in there, didn't we?
It was something.
He
read lyrics of like 5 or 6 songs, a couple of Christmas songs, because he's going to work on a Christmas record here pretty soon. But the one that's sticking out to me is Remember Me.
Remember Me. Yes, sir. Remember Me.
Give him a little dose of it.
He's talking about, it's the altar talking. And he says, remember me. when your tears fell on my face. What were some of the other lines?
Well, it was you used to come and talk to me.
Yeah.
I was there the first time you needed me or came to talk, and so it's the altar that's talking through all the different phases of this person, be it a man or a woman, and in their life. But as they got older in their life, they started going away from the altar.
They didn't use the altar. Yeah.
And that's when the altar started saying, "Remember me."
Remember me, man. Give me the cold chill just to think about it again.
He writes, he always has, and he's even more so today, writing from the most unique and different place where writers just don't go to write.
His mind works so different than any songwriter that I've ever. Well, you think about it though. He probably. Ronny Hinson wrote 2 songs that will probably live on like the old standards. They are standards already.
Well, I know you're talking about the Lighthouse.
Lighthouse, and when he was on the cross, I was on his mind. I mean, people are going to sing that.
Yes, sir.
They'll be singing that 100 years from now if the Lord tarries is coming.
Yeah.
There's just, since the days of Fanny Crosby, there probably hadn't been another songwriter like Ronny Hinson.
From the place where he writes from.
From the place where he writes from.
And he just kept rattling off. And then what about, I don't know if you were talking to Matt on during one or two of these things, but he was giving me one of the Christmas songs about that's not my thing. Where going through Christmas and and drinking apple cider and going making snowmen and all that, and that's all wonderful, but it's not my thing. Mm-hmm. And then here comes the last verse. What his thing was a manger and a baby. That's his Christmas thing. Yeah. Again,
he brought Jesus back around.
Nobody writes like this. And I was talking to Lisa, who was here, his wife, and I said, how many, because he just kept going song after song. I said, how many songs has he written that no one's recorded? She said, thousands. And then she said, you want to know how many he's written in the last couple of weeks? I said, yeah, 6.
Wow, I hadn't had 6 ideas in the last 6 months, I don't guess.
I haven't written songs in the last 6 decades, so I don't want to hear nothing about it.
Oh,
But boy, did we have a time with Ronny.
we had a time.
That's
Something I was just sitting there, just soaking it up, you know. These are things you'll remember from now on.
I'm kind of shell shocked. I mean, he gave us so much stuff in such a short period of time. You and I both are having a hard time remembering and throwing it right back at you. But once it settles in, man. And then he got to talking about the testimony of his dad. Hit that up a lick. You remember that enough to give a little? How he turned that around? He wanted to hear his dad say what?
Always wanted to hear his daddy say, "I love you." His daddy never told him that. His daddy was in bad shape.
Yeah.
Had
I think it was brain cancer, right?
Brain tumor. And,
yeah.
And he'd always wanted. So one day it was his daddy's birthday, and his daddy they had to strap him in the wheelchair and put a baseball cap on his head because his chemo had burned all the hair off his head, and put a baseball cap on him, strapped him in his wheelchair, rolled him outside because Ronny had
birthday.
It was his birthday. Ronny had put all these balloons up, put happy birthday, and let him sit on the front porch, and said people would come by all day, and they would walk by and take his hat off and kiss him on the head and said
love you, preacher.
Love you, preacher. Happy birthday. You know. But said he looked straight ahead. He couldn't talk. He couldn't respond. He couldn't move. And Ronny had always wanted to hear him say, "I love you." And he said,
because he's a child now.
Middle child.
And so that the first kids, and you know how it is, all the love, and then the little kids. Oh, here's my little boy, little girl, and so, but everybody in the middle, and he's the middle one.
Yeah, he's the middle one, and
he kind of got lost in there.
He said, "I never heard him say it to me," and he said,
But he always knew that his dad.
He knew he loved him, but he said he never heard him say it, and he always wanted. He said, "I thought that was the one thing I wanted to hear my daddy say more than anything else." And he said, I stayed there all day with him as long as I could, and I had to leave and come back to Nashville. And he said, I started to walk toward the car. He said, I kissed him and told him bye. And I said, I started to walk toward the car, and said, he said something. And he said he hadn't said anything all day. Hadn't said anything in a long time. But he said something that had the word love in it, and he said, I thought this must be it. And he said, I asked my mama, what did he just say?
Yeah.
And he repeated it. And he said, tell him what he said.
He said, I know you love me.
Yeah.
Talking to Ronny. Instead of him telling Ronny that he loved Ronny, Ronny had been with him all day, and he was working, just being a blessing to his dad. Mm-hmm. And his dad turned it around and said, I know you love me.
Yeah.
And then he turned that around too. That's what, instead of the Lord, us seeking the Lord's, I love you and I love you, he died on the cross for us. Mm-hmm. It's abundantly obvious that the Lord Jesus Christ loves us more than anything.
Mm-hmm. But when we stand before him one day,
what we want to hear him say.
What we really want. We think we know what we want him to hear.
Yeah.
Or what we want to hear.
Yeah.
But what we really want to hear is, I know you love me. And man, that's a powerful thing.
Well, it's convicting.
Yes, it's very convicting.
Are we living our lives in such a way that the Lord, even right now, could look over the portals of glory and say, I know that one loves me?
Well, that's what the Lord was saying to Paul, or that's what Paul knew already. Fought a good fight, I've kept the faith.
Yeah.
There's laid up for me a crown of,
right.
And he'll say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. And that's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
And that's basically what he was talking about. And man, to be able to bring that story around to that was.
So that's the ministry part of my Facebook Live tonight. Can the Lord look down over the portals of glory now and point to you and say, that one, I know she loves me. Whew.
That's convicting. Strong.
I hope he can say that about me. There's some days maybe I think he can. There's other days probably not.
Yes, sir. I know I feel that way too.
But you take inventory yourself. And the good news is if you feel that, I know, I don't think he probably can look over the portals of glory, point to me and say, I know that one loves me. Well, the good news is that the trumpet hasn't blown, the world's still spinning on its axis, which means we can change that.
There's still time. Still time.
There's time to work. There's time to plow. There's still time to knock on doors. There's still time to tell people about Jesus and do his bidding and his work. And that's how we show him that we love him. And he can in turn look and say, that one there, it's obvious.
Yes, sir.
He or she loves me.
Lord
what
said,
an afternoon.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Lord said, Peter, do you love me?
Yeah.
Feed my sheep.
Feed my sheep. And he
That's
said
the way.
again.
It's that work. It's us doing what we what we need to be doing for him that lets him know that we love him.
Yeah.
Well, this is about the business of the Lord.
This is an afternoon I'm not going to soon forget.
That's right.
Ronnie, you don't know what you've done today.
Oh, he's always
for these
a
two
blessing.
boys here.
That's right.
Wow. And then he just kept reading lyrics of song after song after song, and I'm telling you, I don't know, man.
That remember me,
He's
though. I
special.
don't know I'll ever forget that.
He's coming back next week. My son is blessed to be mixing his brand new album now, and so I've been flying on the wall and throwing in inserting a thought or two here or there. But next week they're going to come and they're going to do the final tweak mix, and it'll be completed. And so I'm going to get with Ronnie, and he's going to be prepared to spend some time with me, and we're going to do some Facebook Lives and some video things. So be looking for that next week. It's going to be special. But tomorrow, Lord willing, Lindsey Huggins is going to be here. Mark's coming back, and we're going to do some more singing on my record. And we kind of finished, or we listened through on the new Marksman stuff. And tell what are you thinking so far?
Oh man, we're we're going to have something out that's going to really be, it's going to be good. I mean, I think it's going to be good. I don't like to brag on myself.
Oh, I'm so happy
or
with what I've
anything
heard.
like that, but it's
happy.
really it's really sounding great.
Bluegrass gospel, and it's fantastic. And a really cool thing that we're going to do on this, which is the first of a 2-part series, is he's also recording all of the stories behind the songs. What happened to birth those songs, and then so we'll tell the story, and then the song will be played, and that's going to be good.
That was your idea. We were my dad had the idea to do an album with just songs that I wrote, songs that I sang through the years, And Les said, "Why don't you put the stories behind this?" You remember telling me that?
Yeah. And why
don't you put the stories on there?
And the thing that really that gave me the idea was, I asked you to do that when the Old Time Preachers Quartet recorded your song, He Has.
Yes, sir.
Because I knew the story, and it's an impactful story. It's a blessing. Every time he says it, I weep. And so I thought, boy, you know what? I bet you these other songs have stories that are compelling, and God using you. And there was a time that he was pushing you and prompting you, and it came about in the writing of a song.
Yes, sir.
And it's always good to hear those kind of stories, like the story for He Has. And so he's done that on 10, right? 10 for this one, 10.
Yep.
And then the second volume will be another 10 Marksman songs and 10 more stories. But this one's going to have He Has on it, and a brand new one that you wrote, Bethlehem.
Bethlehem, Judea. That's one me and Daddy wrote. Yeah.
Which it sounds like a Christmas song, and it's a perfect song for Christmas. But it goes, you play this one like "Beautiful Star Bethlehem"
year round,
12 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And what other songs are going to be on this one?
He Is I Am.
We did a redo of that one.
Recut of He Is I Am. New version of that. I've been wanting to do that for a long time because I love the song. It's probably had more people to record He Is I Am than any song I wrote.
So give me one or two of them that's a recording.
Let's see. Mountain Heart recorded it.
The Steve Gully years, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the really good Mountain Heart.
Man, Alicia Nugent recorded it years ago.
Yeah.
In their family band. man, there's been lots of bluegrass bands recorded it through the years.
What a great song. Great song.
A lot. And but I had a lot of those songs. And I can't remember what all was on this one. Testimony on aisle 5.
Stones, one on it.
Stack them stones, yeah. Stack them stones, and testimony on aisle 5, yeah. And
We need to do a video of testimony on aisle 5.
that'd be good. That'd be fun, yeah.
We're going to do a lyric video on one of the songs, and we hadn't talked about which one yet. And
Right.
I don't know. We're not ready to talk about that, but we're going to do a lyric video. We might want to think about doing it on that one.
Yeah.
Although, you know, a lyric video, those are good, and it'll serve a purpose. It's wonderful. It's going to be great. But having a concept video, like with real people and stuff,
Yeah,
and that aisle 5, man,
yeah.
that would be a good one.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. We'll see if we do that.
Yeah.
But we've had a good day, you think?
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun.
Amen. Amen.
And just been blessed.
Yeah.
Some of these songs, some of the songs that's on your project, that is just some of the best songs. I mean,
I'm blessed.
man, the song Ronnie wrote. My goodness, what a song.
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. That's what I keep thinking. You hear that trumpet sound any minute, and we're
Yeah.
out of here. You know.
I tell you, one of my favorites on it and it was one that we did today. I love the old Bible.
Yes, sir.
Precious old Bible, the light on my pathway to shine. It keeps me so happy, always so happy. That wonderful book divine.
Oh yes.
Rebecca Peck.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Rebecca Peck. So we're going to do some more tomorrow. And then,
Yes,
and
sir.
tomorrow, Lord willing, I told you we'd probably come to you a few times a day. It just didn't happen. But now tomorrow, I think I'm going to be able to do a few more with Mark and with Lindsay. And so be watching my Facebook all day tomorrow, from tomorrow morning through tomorrow night. And we'll try to get you in on some of the live clips of the singing, and maybe even on a very rough mix of a song or two, maybe even a rough mix of the Hinson one that Ronnie sang. Man, it's the one that Mark just mentioned a while ago. I'm out of here.
Out of here.
Well, all right, folks. Thanks. This was just an unusual Facebook Live with Les, Southern Gospel Music. Well, we just gave you a little music, sang a little bit. Memories, memorabilia. We didn't do any memorabilia. I got all kinds of memorabilia. Okay, right here's one. Right on the gate. Let's do some memorabilia. Okay, so right here, I got my 5-string banjo, and it's signed by J.D. Crowe, Dr. Ralph Stanley, woo,
Now you're talking.
and Ron Block.
Those are 3.
Hit him a lick. Hit him a lick. Here we go. Oh, I got it all. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Show them get it up there to the camera so they can see the signatures there.
Yes, sir.
Ron Block, J.D. Crowe, and Dr. Ralph Stanley. Son, I hauled off and got some signatures on that banjo.
That's some. You couldn't beat those 3. I mean, there ain't no way.
So now, there we gave you some memorabilia even today.
That's it. Memorabilia right there.
All right, we'll put my little thing back the way I had it. How'd I
I don't know
have
how you had
Because
it.
it shuts everything up. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Is that it? I don't know. No, that doesn't do it. We got to figure out how to do that. How's it do
I
it?
don't know. Maybe you did it like this.
There you go. That's good.
Is that making you nervous?
Don't knock me in the head with
Making
my
me
banjo
nervous.
is.
I hit him in the head with a banjo. That's how I killed him.
Here's another memorabilia. I've got it stacked up everywhere. Here you go. I'll show you one more for our Facebook Live. This is a plaque that I've got here for producing the #1 song, Every Moment, Every Mountain, Every Mile, given to me by the Singing News magazine for producing this Williamson record. And so there you go. There's another piece of memorabilia right there.
The man's full of memorabilia. You're a memorabilia expert.
That is a great song, by the way. Every moment, every mountain, every mile. And if you haven't heard it, you need to go find that by the Williamsons. It's on the album called Give Them Jesus. It's on my label, Family Music Group. And go hunt it down because it's full of just great, great songs. Jesus, what a wonderful name. That was a #1 song, too. Man,
Good
Mark,
song.
I've been blessed, man.
You
God's
have.
good to me. That's all
We
I can
all
say.
have.
So I hope you enjoyed the Facebook Live, and check in. Hopefully all day tomorrow. We'll be coming at you a bunch of times. All right? God bless you. All right, Mark. Go ahead and hit the finish button there.
All right.
See y'all later.
Where's the finish
Down
button?
there at the bottom.
Down
Right
at the
there.
bottom.